So 1 cup of sifted flour, a stick of butter at room temp, cut that up or break it with your hands, get it into the flour, get your hands in, mix that up. If you need a little bit of water, about a tablespoon there. Keep mixing, need just a little more water there, so add it. At the end you want a cookie dough type texture, nice and firm, so a little less doughy than normal, I guess. Nice and firm like that. Gonna add a little flour to our board, start kneading it, pulling it in, knead it down, spin it, knead it some more. Once we've done that, firm it up a little bit, get it all smoothed out, shape it up a little bit. Then we're going to add some cling film to it, wrap that up, get it in the fridge for 20 to 30 minutes so it sets up. Alright, so we've taken it out of the fridge, we just rolled it out to try and portion it up and cut what we think we need for a piece. We only need 2, so we'll end up with a spare at this point for something later. It looks about right. So some more flour, we'll start rolling these out. Once you get it to about what you want, you really just want to drop this in the pan and not really push it around the bottom with your fingers. You don't want to put holes in it. So we'll lay it across there, even it out best we can, and then we're going to lift up on the ends to let it drop down inside. And one of these pans, the one on the stove, is a little bit deeper than the one I'm using now, but same thing applies. Just kind of drop it in, form the crust at the top. Roll out your other piece. Again, same principle. Again, this is the deeper pan, but try to even it up as best you can over the whole top of it. Pick up a side, let it drop down in there. And just kind of crimp the crust over the top when you get it to where you want it. So now we're going to add aluminum foil to both of these. We're going to push it down inside. This is called blind baking. So we're just trying to crust it up, I guess, cook it a little bit but not brown it. So we'll do this to both and we'll get them in the oven. So 15 to 20 minutes-ish on this. While that's going, we're going to quarter up our leek, rinse it off under the tap. We've already got our bacon lardons already chopped up. So now we can chop up that leek, only using 1. Got the pan heated, preheated, so we'll drop our bacon into that, get that frying off first. And once it cooks pretty good, I've drained half of the grease from that, or a little better than half, so it's not too greasy. So we'll add our leeks and our mushrooms to that at that point. And we're going to cook them down till all the water comes out of the mushrooms and the leeks. I'll kind of take on some of that grease as well. So we'll pull our crust out here, take the aluminum foil off at this point. They've cooked for about 20 minutes and they're crusted up pretty nicely. So now that we've got the other stuff going on, we're going to take that foil off, get them back in the oven, and try to brown it off at this point while we continue on with the rest of the ingredients here. So those have cooked nicely. Again, the mushroom and leek have taken on some of that grease, but all the water is evaporated at this point, so we're going to get that off the heat. I've whisked up 3 eggs and a couple tablespoons of cream. Yep, 3 eggs and some cream. Now I'm just shredding in some sharp cheddar cheese. I'm going to get a pretty good pile of that to make the quiche a little bit more creamy and less eggy. So we'll season that up A little bit of salt, not too much because we have the bacon. We'll throw some pepper in there as well. Our other ingredients have cooled off, so we're going to add them at this point. One last thing, I'm going to chop up some fresh parsley. Not a whole bunch, just enough. We'll get that in there as well. Give that a good mix. So back in the oven. Our crust should be looking pretty good at this point, and they are. So I'm going to go ahead and add our filling to those evenly as possible. Again, one pan's bigger than the other, so just eyeball it. Once we get all that filling in there, we're going to go ahead and add some more cheese to the top of it. So this is going to go back in the oven for 20 to 30 minutes, but the last 5 to 10 minutes we're going to put it under the broiler and try to brown off that cheese just a little bit. We don't want to burn it, but so 20 minutes later at this point, you can see that cheese browned off just a little bit, not too much. There's the other one, went just a little bit more on that one. So there you have it, bacon lardon, leek, and mushroom quiche.